Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the top 5 best pistols in Borderlands 4 and where to farm them. Some of them can do some pretty absurd things like what you're seeing right there, and there's not really that many great pistols in Borderlands 4 unfortunately. The biggest thing being the lack of let-off pistols, which made the previous games a lot more powerful. Hopefully we will see some more great pistols later on, but I'll be giving you some honorable mentions here at the start. And I guess just to show what's crazy about these, you see there that boss died faster. I can even show you guys. Some pistols actually do crazy damage. Our first honorable mention is the Lucky Clover. Order guns are kind of annoying in Borderlands 4, charging up your shots, and this one can actually down you pretty easily. Whenever you reload the gun, it shoots out these homing orbs here. It's a cool gun, I guess. It has a small magazine there, so you shoot off all your shots. The damage is not very good, though. As you can see, I like the little shamrocks that shoots off from it, though. Next we have the Noisy Cricket here, which has a really weird property. It looks cool. This is one of the coolest guns that we have in the game. Now, you're going to really benefit from playing Rafa here, being able to do those big explosions. Just be mindful that this gun is a little bit annoying and really hard to focus on the screen, so just a heads up, I'm not going to spam this gun, because those big pulses are kind of annoying. Great for dealing with vile enemies that are otherwise harder to deal with, but I prefer the Wombo Combo Assault Rifle. Next, I want to give a little mention to the Zipper here, which has some pretty cool properties when you hit a target from behind. But that's obviously not very easy to do, so that's not going to make it onto the list here, but I think it's a cool concept. It has a little burst rounds there. I always like the burst pistols, especially the highly accurate ones. This is great if you can get behind an enemy, but the chances of that are not great unless you're playing with friends. Our last honorable mention will be the Budget Deity here, which shoots Torgue License magazine. It's a T-Dur gun, so, you know, if you like those throwable weapons, it's actually going to have two things you can throw there, so boom. You shoot them, you get a little extra damage in. The gun itself is pretty good at aim. Like it's a pretty good gun overall for just damage, but it's not good enough to be on this list. Whenever you get that on the enemy there, it actually makes the pistol's bullets shoot towards them and lock onto them, which can be kind of nice, but the damage output's not that great. Now, there was just a increase to the damage of some of these guns here, so I'll be taking all of that into account because there was some pretty big buffs here. So in 5th place here, we have the Bully, which got a massive 50% boost to its damage. Its damage is already great, but it got a really nice one. And the drone that it shoots off now also got a 50% boost to its damage. So with this gun, whenever your shields are activated, you get an attack drone that'll attack for every 14 seconds, it'll pop out. And this gun is also an order gun, but it's fully automatic, and that's where this gun really shines. The damage output from it is really nice. You can see there, it knocks enemies back pretty well, and then just does overall a good chunk of damage. With the shields up there, you're able to block a bit of damage and also dish out some yourself. This is the only automatic gun that we have on this list, so it's going to play well in the hands of pretty much anyone. Obviously, if you got the Bullet Buddy Deluxe from Rafa there, that's where you really empower a lot of these guns, because this lets you just get a lot of critical hits off. I wish you could get the Jacob's License accessory on it, because that would make this a lot better. I'm using a Ricochet Rafa build at the moment. You can see there's good stopping power on that one. But decent damage overall, nothing really that special. The gun drone is kind of the cool thing that goes with it, but it's mostly just the high damage there. You can see the drone flying around there doing a bit of damage, but yeah, it's a decent weapon overall. The big thing being it's automatic. I got one of these in my first playthrough on Vex, and it was really great because of the lifesteal that you can get from this, so I found her to be a great user of this weapon. And if you want to get one for yourself, all you have to do is come on over down to this section of the map, and there's going to be a boss fight, the Core Observer. So it's got actually a pretty close shut-eye keep safe house right there. You can just hop right on over. Pretty straightforward. In 4th place, we have the King's Gambit. Now, this weapon I felt was a little bit stronger prior to all the other pistols getting some pretty big buffs. So this gun comes with a special Holy Hell, which basically whenever you reload the gun, you throw it, and then it's going to create this thing that's going to ricochet the bullets back around. It's Jacob's, so, you know, those type of guns are always really nice for the ricochets on critical hits, and it can come with a Ripper parts or without Ripper parts as well. And actually the damage is going to be a little bit lower if you don't have the Ripper parts, so if you're playing Rafa, it's actually better to go with the Ripper because you can shoot it way faster. Otherwise, it's got a 4-round magazine. I got an 8-round here with the Ripper parts, which is a little bit annoying, but it shoots it quicker. So this is what it looks like here, fully auto, and then you shoot that there, which will allow you to ricochet them off it. So you have to shoot at it to be able to ricochet them, and that's a lot easier said than done, but you can shoot them at the King Me orb there, and you see there, it's ricocheting off onto enemies. This is great on like Rafa's ricochet build. I'll show you this here with, so this is it with the Bullet Buddy Deluxe, utilizing the Ripper magazine there to shoot off a bunch of them. I found that was the best rather than clicking it a bunch of times. But yeah, the damage output, it just is lacking compared to some of these other ones, so that's what's keeping it out from the higher rankings here. And again, pistols obviously are a little bit weaker than some of the others, but you can see there an Ultimate Vault Hunter 5. This is not doing crazy damage, but it is pretty fun with the ricochets and the ability to bounce those off. Just, it is a little bit weird because you have to aim at the balls there. So yeah, this could be for you. It may be a gun that you might enjoy using. It's great on Vex as well, especially if you have this one here with the witchy trigger finger, because you can shoot those rounds and then use your ability to get it back. So it can be pretty fun, but I found the damage just from this, you can see, isn't as good as some of the others here. And to get yourself your very own King's Gambit, we're going to come on over here and fight the Vile Prototype type boss fight here. So in third place, we have another Jacob's gun here. Again, missing flat off very badly here, but Jacob's is great because the ricochets are so good in this game. This deals fire damage, the Phantom Flame. Zooming in locks on targets, however. This is the special, the midday. And whenever you use that, it's just going to let you fire off a crazy amount of bullets. It will fire the entire magazine. You have to reload. However, there's 3 different characters that can utilize this a little bit better. Rafa, obviously, with his Bullet Buddy Deluxe, letting him be able to just get infinite ammo. Also, Harlowe with her green skill tree and the being able to regenerate her own ammo. And then on top of this, also, Vex can utilize her ordnance. Or she can use the Eldritch Blast and use the Witchy Trigger Finger to get her bullets back. But this is best utilized on Rafa, and you can actually do some pretty crazy stuff here. So this is what it looks like normally. You reload, you shoot off all the bullets, and then you reload. Pretty crazy. But as you saw at the start of the video with the Bullet Buddy Deluxe, you can do some insane stuff with this. And again, it'll chain around to multiple enemies. It has relatively low recoil here too, so you can just spam away and do some nuts damage with it. I think it's pretty fun of a weapon too, especially if you got like the critical hit knife. I just threw it there. But yeah, it's literally becomes a minigun with this. And this boss isn't weak to fire damage right now. It's got its normal armor up. So if we use this again, once we break down this health bar, so here it's actually much better because we're going against a red health bar, and you can see it shreds. So this is a really fun one, even if you don't have Rafa's Bullet Buddy Deluxe here, because most of the bursts will take down trash mobs. So if you're mobbing, this is a really great weapon. It'll also ricochet around because it's a Jacob's gun. I just like the really fast fire rate, and that's why I'm putting it above the King's Gambit. Although this obviously is weighted heavier if you're using Rafa. I just want to show the heights of this gun. This is also really great on Harlowe and Vex as well. But if you wanted something that's not elemental for just general purpose, the King's Gambit is also great. These two are really hard to rank. I like them both for the same reason, kind of, but it's clear that the Phantom Flame has a higher peak than the King's Gambit does, so that's why I ranked it a little bit higher. And to get yourself your very own Phantom Flame, we're going to come over here to Pango Bango and take on them. In second place, we have the Queen's Rest. Now, this gun also got a buff lately. It got an increase, or in the October 9 patch yesterday, because it gets an increased amount of speed and damage here. And the rounds are already pretty fast. But what's great about this is the Torgue secondary magazine that you can see here. So the secondary fire shoots Seki gyro jets that explode on reload or when switching modes, and increases explosion by 13% each. You can get different damage rolls for that. Now, what this ends up translating to is a lot of damage. If you got the ability to extend your reload time, so like with Vex's Witchy Trigger Finger again, Harlowe's Infinite Bullets, or the Bullet Buddy Deluxe, when you shoot this, you can stack up that additional explosion damage because they increase damage by 13% each. So every time you get a bunch more on the enemy, this is even better. You can also get the Hyperion License Script. This is the best roll that I got on it, but you can also get it Elemental, and that's, I think, why I like it so much. I'm putting it high here for a reason, because you got so many different options. Like this one here is the Cryo Efficiency 105. This one obviously has higher damage. This one doesn't come with the Jacobs or the Hyperion or the Torgue underbarrel. So you can get various rolls on this, and I just found that with the Jacobs, obviously this is insane because this will shoot the explosive stickies around everywhere. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. The Hyperion gives you better reload or better accuracy as you keep firing. Missing Hyperion guns in this as well. I like the Hyperion pistols in Borderlands 2. Pistols had such a high in Borderlands 2, and they kind of fell off here. But the Torgue stickies is what makes it shine. So what makes this so good is you want to use the stickies version. There's impact, which will explode whenever you hit the enemy, but we can fill them up with a bunch of these here, and you're just going to see its health bar start to disappear in a second. Now we reload it, so they're exploding, and you can see its health bar is absolutely getting destroyed. That's the fastest time we've cleared a boss. And this works not on just Rafa, but also on Vex and Harlowe. Now, really the best thing to do is to get the one with the stickies, so you might need to get a few different rolls of this to be able to get the stickies. I like the critical hits as well, especially with the critical hit knife. I'm not even utilizing that. Oh my god, that is just absurd. Because yeah, you can delete every single boss in the game really quickly with this. And if you're not using the stickies, just the regular impact is really good too. So I debated putting this as my #1 strongest weapon, in all honesty, because this gun just is absolutely absurd with the amount of rolls that you can get here. So Queen's Rest, 8-round magazine, Jacobs, Hyperion License Grip, and Torgue is my absolute favorite. It's so strong. You can also get different rolls for the percentage of the homing sticky projectiles as well, so that Royal Armory feat there. So yeah, you can get a few different rolls of this, and they're all pretty good. And you get yourself your own Queen's Rest. We're actually going to come on up to the left-hand side of the map here, and you're going to fight Queen Callus here in the moon called Throne. This is the farming location for it. It does take a little bit to get to, but it's worth it. Now, I do want to give, I guess, another honorable mention to the true strongest gun in the game with the Songbird here. Now, the special property with this gun is when you switch weapons, it gets an increase to its damage. This increase does not know any limits right now, which is likely going to get patched out because the shots do insane burst or amounts of damage. So as long as you're swapping your guns, you can get some absurd numbers for damage there. Yeah, it's definitely getting patched because the numbers are out of this world. You can one-shot bosses just by swapping around. So yeah, we likely won't. Likely will see a change to how this gun performs. So I don't want to throw this on the list just in case it does cause some differences in how it performs. And for our strongest pistol in the game, the Looming 7th Sense, or I guess the 7th Sense. This gun is absurd. It's got the proprioception there, hitting enemies, spawns orbs that float upwards and home in on targets on reload. And yeah, you can get a few different rolls of this. So this one's got the Atlas License Underbarrel, firing tracker darts, which allow you to home in on your projectiles. This one here's got the TDR License Accessory, throws gun on reload. And this one also gets a higher DPS number there. So it does lower the amount of damage per bullet, but you get the grenade explosion thrown into the factor there. So yeah, you can get a variety of different rolls, but it's a Jacobs gun. Jacobs are really easy to like, especially with the ability that it has on it. So boom, you're just going to see the gun going off here. Absurd damage numbers from this gun, and it's Jacobs again. So lots to enjoy with this here. You can see its health just absolutely deleting this boss. So obviously with the Bullet Buddy Deluxe, being able to shoot this often without having to get the reload is really, really nice. So pretty crazy damage. Those orbs that bounce off can actually offer some pretty good damage there. You see it's actually doing some numbers against it here. It's a great gun just for the ricochet effect that you do get from it here. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this gun. You can see it's got a pretty fast time to clear. Embarrassing went down there, but yeah, even without the added benefits there, it's just a very high damage weapon. And obviously Jacobs guns are just really enjoyable to use. So the few different rolls you can get on it are nice, and it's also great on a variety of different characters. It's great on Vex, Harlowe, or Rafa. Unfortunately, Amon doesn't get a really good skill tree to take advantage of a lot of these guns. And to farm yourself your very own 7th Sense, we're going to go on over here and fight Vile's Head and the Experiment. So you can just come over here to this farm. Takes relatively, it's not that long of a farm to do, so you can get yourself your own. But yeah, let me know your favorite pistol in Borderlands 4 in the comments, and I may do an updated video on this whenever the DLCs come out and all the new guns. Hopefully we'll see some of the old favorites coming back, and maybe some flat-out pistols, who knows, we'll see. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already.